Nkaka Peter yenze producer wa TM9 television. Ate era nze gw'owulira eno kuba nze presenter. Mbaagaliza ebiseera by'ennaku enkulu ebirungi tutandise okubibaagaliza. Nsimbudde butereevu. Ayagala okulanga naffe twakugamba mu festive time eno obubaka obwongo obuwulira jangu gwe muna business tukulangire nga tusinzira ku online. Ennamba z'amasimu nzibateerangako buli kaseera nsaba muzeeyambe. Mpeereza obubaka obwa email obubanga oliwa business ayagala okugiyisa ku email n'ekirala. Kyesitalo musajja common man abeereyo Kamuli. Musajja ono yatuwa ekigambo ekyo mujjenga mukigoberera paka 2021 agamba atya there will be nothing to declare and nothing to hide. 2021 wayinza obutabaawo kyakulangirira ate wayinza obutabaawo kyakukweka. Ntandise program y'olunaku olwaleero. Tubaaniriza nnyo mwebale kuba balabi balungi, mwebale kutuwagira, mwebale kutuwagira mutabani wa Mole n'amatovu mirundi Joseph Tamale emirundi senior. Abantu bwe batakulaba muzeyi bakumbuza.
Era bati bagantuludde okukola comment. Yena fetwagala. Tukole comment nga luwe kyamaanyi.
Of course.
Yes. Waga tukole comments nga luwe kyamaanyi.
Yesebo.
Nabasuubiza. Tulina banga ntandika okukola program yaffe. Tujja kusooka nga ne newspaper review.
Yes.
Kati olwale kubanga abantu bafa basinga obungi. Mpandise ekitabo ku Bobi Wine.
Ekirala.
Kijja kufuluma ngenda kufulumya kanasooka na kino. Bobi Wine. How smart the government. How we started. The blunders the government is making. Who are the financiers of Bobi Wine?
The financiers
how he is operating.
Okay.
Yes. The role yange is to educate people.
Yes.
Kubanga ekyo amawulire ga Uganda kyagalema.
Bawandika bigule.
The role of the media is to set the agenda and create a marketplace of ideas at advanced level.
I see.
To create a marketplace of ideas where people can go and buy and reject. Kiwala nti mmwe olw'okubanga abantu bawano tebalina tolerance. Tukita libertarian theory. Libertarian theory was developed by American scholars. Libertarian theory dictates allow people to say whatever they want, allow newspapers to write whatever they want, as long as there are people who can interpret and guide the society.
So, the newspapers are not playing this in Uganda.
Naye ekibi ekiri mu Uganda to silence.
Nti awandiise olina omusirisa.
Not coerce. Leave everything to everybody to talk. Government ey'emyaka 35 ebuleetya abajoogerera. Kubanga democracy olina okutegeera. If there is a kingdom, kingdom etambulira ku culture, is protected by cultural values. If it is a military government, it must get one of its brains to defend the government. I've been telling you that Hitler's Minister of Information, Joseph Goebbels, manipulated information to the extent that the Berliners woke up when the Red Army, the Russian army, had already arrived and taken over Berlin. But kakati bo bano mbagamba
bakowasinga
batamanyi kufumba. Do you go to the neighbors wife n'omuyita yakufumbire? Any government, a democratic government, must have people who can defend these policies, not mercenaries. Toyinza kulowooza nti brain ejja kugyonona
ogulenga bagule
obuzibu arrogance n'obujozi. Tewaliwo ajja okufuna ssente, waliwo gwe mujja okujooga ye ng'aboogerera. No, I'm not omwazinyi. The mwazinyi he will be rewarded by God. Kubanga ye omwanyizinyi omulimu gwe he should tell, to inform the believers, the Muslims, this is an hour for a swala.
This is the right time.
If you don't respond, yeto kanti yakoze eki.
Teyayazi.
Yesu bwe yajja mu nsi muno yali alwanirira bwakabaka bwa kitaawe. The God's kingdom. All the suffering he went through. This is not Mirundi's government. You humiliate me, you go.
Mpulira.
Yes, tosobola kunjoga ne tusigala ffenna.
Mpulira.
Kubanga sinamu kyenjagalamu. I come as a partner. When you chase me, I go.
Mpulira.
Kakati nkubuulira.
Sitegedde muzeeyi libertarian theory eri gy'obadde onnyonnyola.
Libertarian theory dictate. It was developed by American scholars. And it is reflected in their constitution. That allow people, allow newspapers, allow TV stations to broadcast what they want. If it is a question of obscenitism, you alert. In Europe, when you are going to broadcast, that's why on
adult content,
on films and what, there is parental guidance. You inform the public
that this movie is for people of this age.
With this age, this is what they do. They separate the gutter, the disclaimer, the broadsheet, and we have 3 types of newspapers: mainstream, gutter, broadsheet, and the other one. Again, Uganda gagwawa. Mwebyo. A mixture.
Agape wana Uganda gakwa muki mainstream
the newspaper ina haina ngate ina pass UPA osanga bukedde nga awemula ngate ali mu pass piero
muri musenga oluvanyuma lwa pass piero oddako senga
kakati ekyo molality katogo nowhere it is good. An obscenity magazine is known.
It's a pornographic kind of a magazine.
When you are staying in a hotel, if you wanted to see those blue movies, you order them, you pay differently. The protection is where. But when it comes to news or other commentaries, what these people do is to buy off those who say government. No. If you look at yourself, and you feel the ventilators, you can die suffocation.
Of course.
I'm helping this government more than those who are paid.
Speak about it. How does a newspaper that has the children content of past examinations still have obscenities and pornographic kind of a page in the same magazine?
Yes. I don't know whether Balwaya Senga Mweri Bana Bang Mukole bino na bino atenga mulimu pasi Piero E.
Never akadirisa
and akadirisa is for stupid people. How can a betting company advise you how to win money against you?
Akadirisa
paid for by the
betting company advising you how to beat.
A betting company tells you how to defeat it, to get money. Why was it started? Minister of Information and National Guidance. Where is the national guidance?
Sincerely, we are looking for the national guidance.
The Minister of National Guidance needs guidance. This is where the problem is.
Surprising.
So, I always start with a newspaper review. Nalweso atabudde ebyamuzaata. I told you, when you study Muzata's case, it has 2 important things. One, why does Bukede talk about Muzata's family, the quarrels in the family? Bukede is used by criminals. There is an element of criminality in this newspaper. Whenever somebody dies, Bukede creates an impression. He points to would be suspects. At times, Bukede can publish a story. Abatakawesa babakutte when they are not there. Abatanagirinya babakutte. Bizuse, biranze. Confusing. They can point you, can make you believe when you look at this man Kasiwukira's case. How can you say that Kasiwukira's widow connived with her sister, whom Kasiwukira had impregnated to kill him? And how can a woman get a pregnancy from a rich man and abort? It cannot happen.
Those are contradictory.
Tikisoboka. Kakati, for us who analyze Bukede very well, there are 2 theories. What if Muzata was poisoned? Bukede is already preparing the public that if he did not die
naturally
of COVID, then the problem is in his family. That's why they started publishing stories about
the marriage.
About Muzata. Bukede did not highlight the fact that Muzata at that time was in hospital, intensive care unit. The way he was writing was as if there was a fierce battle between Muzata and his wife. What did they hate? Unless Muzata's sickness originated from the woman. So Bukede is preparing the public. If he did not die COVID, then you have been reading stories how the family, how the marriage was on rocks.
So that's what you call the inoculation.
Yes,
preparing us for bad news.
Now, why is Narweso quarreling? Narweso is quarreling because Narweso is like a person who says that the president, he used, a good example is this. If somebody is coming from Masaka and he needs financial assistance to hire a vehicle, and when he arrives in Masaka, from Masaka to Kampala, he informs the president offers to refund, and the refund is 10 million. The question is, which transport means did this man use to warrant payment of 1 million, compensation of 1 million?
From Masaka to Kampala.
This is the dilemma where Narweso is. Narweso, according to records, she paid 180 million for the treatment of the late Muzata.
Are you serious?
Yes. How long did Muzata
100 million?
Yes. Now, Narweso must know, if you get a serious man, a smart guy, a talented man, a naturally intelligent man like you, like me, I can tell you, I hired a bus. Because a bus takes 70 people. 70 people, because I told this bus owner or driver that I was needed in Kampala very urgently. He did not come with the passengers.
Of course.
So I multiply the fare of those
who are supposed to be there,
and then they give him the time he lost. Because when he comes, he's violating, he's not coming according to schedule.
Yes.
Which means he's infringing on somebody's route, because the buses, taxis take routes.
Yes.
Anyway, source.
They have numbers.
I know kutegeeza abantu lwaki State House yasasudde million 18
ku bulwadde bwa Muzata
was not operated. Muzata did not get a heart transplant. Neither did he get a serious operation warranting 100
a payment of 180 million.
Kakati, the only thing that can save General Narweso is to state that he died out of COVID. Because COVID, you can, if you say that because Muzata died, the cause of death is COVID, then you can get the total of 180. You
can account for the 180 million. Why? How?
The problem we have in Uganda about COVID, I've read in the book trying to change. You cannot change your strategy when the people were in the failed strategy still around. If Museveni wants to change the COVID strategy, he must overhaul the Ministry of Health. Diana must go. The Museveni scientists could spend most of their time looking at the ventilation system of arcades instead of remaining in their laboratories. Who deceived the country that they were about to get out to get
a drug?
They must apologize to the people. I will continue attacking the Uganda scientists. The so-called in mass communication we call it a misnomer. A misnomer.
And what is that?
It is something that appears to be when it is not. These are not scientists. They were relying on information from Europe, What have they offered?
Which, of course, was available to everyone on the internet.
If these people confused the public that they were about to produce a cure, and the president went on radio and TV
and told people,
assured the Ugandans that you wait, even say, I will protect my scientists. Anybody who talks about the science, they were referring to me.
Yes.
They were saying that I was...
He said that in one of his addresses.
Yes, said I will fight you. He said, me no. Nyamwe risk taker. Now, Museveni scientists are brought to nothing. They have produced nothing about from the impressive cities and the huge amounts of money they took. They are showing nothing.
From their lies, they ripped huge amounts of budget, a huge budget
because
for nothing.
As Europe and America was using the intimidative method, the Queen is in hiding. Prince Charles is now...
The Prime Minister is in isolation.
Why? Because if it touches on important people, it scares. It scares the population.
Of course.
In Uganda, the approach was different. COVID-19 was commercialized. One,
it became a project for different people.
They chose selected hospitals to treat COVID-19 patients. Not all hospitals, but even in these hospitals, there were no drugs. Because there was no drug available. There was nothing. Apart from there were conduits of money, stealing government money.
I see.
They came up with another alternative, another policy where suspects could be rounded up with their associates and taken to isolation center.
By force.
By force. There was nothing. These people rioted and they went back and told the people.
Of course. They would even shoot videos of themselves doing nothing in the quarantine.
Even non-COVID patients were taken to the isolation center. Because the more money, the more people you got, the more money government would give you. They even got another policy.
I heard that they would even retain the patients after the 14 days.
You remain there for 14 days, they mix you with the new arrivals, then you wait for another 14 days until people start rioting. And these people, the survivors of these isolation centers, went and told the public, these people are useless. When they take you, they don't give you anything.
Of course.
Even
not even lunch.
Then they come out with another policy. COVID, those who die out of COVID should not be buried by their relatives. They should be buried in cemeteries. We are buying cemeteries in every district where the cemeteries. Money was taken.
We had they had a budget for training people who will bury.
To bury
a COVID victim.
An alleged COVID victim. You had they collected 40 million for burial.
Are you serious?
40 for burial.
For a single corpse?
Yes. Where is land for the cemeteries? Diana, tell us, the permanent secretary, the former Museveni is a physician who decided to leave Museveni to treat the nation. Are you treating the nation? Oh, you are inflicting diseases to the nation. Diana answered, Dr. Diana answered. The president told
he left a single person to treat the nation.
Told her. Diana is a deputy daughter of Museveni. The three people that Lwakasisi killed that landed him into prison for 20 years. One of them was Diana's father. That's why Museveni had an obligation because they were rebel collaborators. That's why Diana is arrogant. Diana believes that because his father contributed the struggle, she has a right.
We heard that she was even schooled from State House money.
Very arrogant woman. Very arrogant. Kakati. Today, all of these things have been abandoned. They are not ventilators. Ventilators that were brought in the country are fake. Kakati, nkunyonyola n'ekugamba. Tinalweso asobola okunyonyola milioni 1.8 ng'ayogedde ekigambo kimu.
COVID.
Yafudde COVID. Why? Because private hospitals that have a long history of treating people in such conditions, they began it.
Elephantiasis?
No, that is
leprosy.
Leprosy. They were treated by missionaries. People used to be abandoning them because they say that Luke told Jesus, don't go near these people. They have what? They began it. Because Luke, among the disciples of Jesus, Luke was an educated man, he was a medical doctor. This is why he advised Jesus not to go near the Bigenge men.
I see.
Yes. Kakati, missionary hospitals, I suggested that if it is not a question of commercializing COVID-19, why don't you get these affected Ugandans to missionary hospitals for treatment, for what you provide in isolation centers, so that you pay, the ministry pays the missionary hospitals.
So, Jose, are you telling me General Isu's explanation is a vague explanation?
Kakati today, we don't have ventilators. But because treating COVID was restricted to hospitals linked to the mafia gang, because these were not, how different are they? What do they have? They have nothing. Even the essentials of a medical doctor could get. I told one of my sons, who is I have 2 medical doctors. I told one of my sons, how much money are we going to lose if one of you dies? Why don't you buy this Mufulia?
You told me earlier that you suggested to your doctors, your sons, that you would buy them for yourself.
They said each is $20 or $100.
You would buy these for them.
Well, how much money am I going to use if you put the 2 of you? But we are saved.
And what are you losing?
Why? Because the mafias looked at COVID-19 as a commercial enterprise. They selected hotels and hospitals for commercial purposes.
That are theirs.
Are theirs. In many cases, even patients, there was an embarrassing case at the Entebbe International Airport. When the immigration people handed these people over to the transporters to take them to the hotels, because the hotels, these people, the transporters knew that these people are mafias, government mafias, very powerful entrenched. They could not give them commissions. They negotiated a deal with the new arrivals. Give us $400
with the suspected
instead
victims.
of paying $1,400. They embarrassing. This team included Bazungu. People had come from Europe. These people went back to collect their passports. Then they found another boss. You people, where are you coming back? Yes, we have come to collect our passports. Why? You were supposed to come back after. No, we paid the money to enter. Ministers collected their relatives from the airport to take the decision.
That was a very open thing that ministers would get their relatives from the airport.
International airport was gave one of his senior managers 100 million Ugandan shillings
to sanitize the airport.
He brought empty jerrycans of water. There was no sanitizers at the Entebbe International Airport because they didn't understand.
They robbed the cash.
It was in CK. These were locusts. No, locusts are already mobile.
Yes.
They are here, tomorrow they are there. COVID-19.
You can lie, they were here and they ran away, you eat the money.
These people did not provide for ventilators. And many of our people, especially the rich, are going to Nairobi. The moment you hear that you don't breathe properly, buy an air ticket, don't go to Mulago. This man, the doctor, the head of Mulago Hospital, where he received billions of things to look for patients, is now lamenting. The hospital is full, yes, because you use a stupid method. How did he expect? Because you ate the money, expecting that this
COVID thing was just
going to go. You confused the president that you were producing a vaccine when
in a short time.
A man who cannot produce a syringe, a needle, how can you produce
a vaccine for a pandemic?
In my language, we say, if you don't have an organ for urinating, how can you say that accompany me to get a woman? Because urinating and getting married, you use the same organ. If you don't have the male organ for urinating, then how can you tell people that you please accompany me to marry a woman?
I want to make babies.
What will you use?
To make babies.
To make babies, to make love with a woman. If you don't have an organ, how can a Ugandan scientist who cannot even produce
a needle, a razor blade?
How can a Ugandan scientist who cannot produce a tablet of this commonly used
chloroquine,
Panadol? Think about, you cannot produce a bicycle, and you think about producing a plane. They were cheating money, but God was on the other side. They have been exposed. So back to narration the argument.
Yes.
because the government did not buy ventilators. The private hospitals who knew that these corrupt Museveni's officials could not use the money properly smuggled in ventilators. The ventilators that was bought from government, were bought by the government, are not functioning. And nobody is apprehended. It's not a serious issue because the newspapers don't give it publicity. This is why I say these are mafia-controlled newspapers. They don't set the agenda.
We are learning that from you.
Kakati, Nalweso has a problem. There are three key players in Muzata's death. The hospital, where he received the training, treatment. The relatives and the sheikhs and Nalweso. Nalweso to justify
180 million payment for a sickness
treatment cost must say that Muzata died out of COVID.
As if she's a doctor.
Why? Because if you go to a private hospital now in Uganda, to get access to a ventilator, you must deposit 5 million on the spot.
Are you serious?
And they charge every day 2 million.
Are you trying to tell me?
Yes.
On entry at the reception, before you are taken in
some places
a deposit 5 million.
In some places they're charging 15 million.
I see.
I told my children, why don't we buy one for us, a ventilator for the family? They told me that you cannot manage it. It is 1 billion. So in many hospitals, because some of these hospitals where you see set out paying money, they are owned by the same mafia fellows.
I see.
And I cannot go to any of those hospitals. Yes. Remember, I fell sick, I was poisoned. The president was away, but somebody hacked a plot that the president had directed them to take me abroad. Where? If I don't come from a rich family, and a family that they asked where, who is saying this, Canon Knight. I knew Canon Knight, but we are not related. He's not one of my close friends in the State House. I had told my allies in the State House that I've been poisoned, I need the money. Now, they even sent an officer to talk to the doctors to find out how damaging was the poison. Who told the president? The president was away. They wanted me to land in two wrong hands. I said, a man who has money for my treatment, a man who has 2 medical doctors, why should I go? Why should you be advised on where to go? If I go abroad, I will be a runner. Here, my children attended to me, my relatives attended to me. So, Nalweso can only account for this money, the 180 million. She allegedly paid to the hospital only when the treatment is for COVID-19.
Mzee, I had.
Now, she has a point, she has a problem. Nobody has come out authoritatively to state that Muzata died of COVID-19. Even the permanent secretary, Diana, did not have the confidence to call a press conference to say, accompanied by the medical doctors who treated Muzata. What is it common for the permanent secretary to release the reports? Is it common? How many times has she done it?
Of course, we haven't seen her so many times.
Of the doctors, in the case of a challenge, the doctors, the person will not be buried because these days, the Islamic rule, tradition of burying immediately after death has been violated. They are quoting certain things in Uganda. Important people are not buried according to Islamic faith. So if for the family there was a dispute as to which killed Muzata, then the family would produce a doctor and carry out the post-mortem together with the hospital doctor. This did not arise. Why? According to my sources, credible sources, the report they received from the hospital did not indicate that the Muzata had died out of COVID. And
it is self-explanatory that the hospital will not release a corpse to a Muslim gathering of COVID.
Muzata was accorded all of the burial rights of a dead Muslim.
Of course.
Which would not have been done
in case of a COVID corpse.
In case the hospital communicated to the relatives. If the relatives were informed that Musata had died out of COVID-19, then the issue of handing over the body to the relatives, to the sheikhs, to conduct the traditional Islamic practices
would not have happened.
Would not have happened.
Of course.
So, but now, Narration is fighting a battle between the hospital. She's attacking the Minister of Health that people are dying in COVID, you keep quiet, you keep mum. Yes, they keep mum because you don't give money to everybody.
You reserve it to a chosen few.
Giving 180 million to every person who dies. Why doesn't the state house use that money to provide? Government can even borrow from manufacturers. The problem you are using the bogus manufacturers, which who can pay if you get a credible institution. The problem they go to look at the middleman. Yes,
state house brokers
of Uganda. If the problem is the ventilators, if the Minister of Health guaranteed a hospital construction with an investor from Italy
who never had money.
We shall start paying the loan even before construction. And there is no construction at all. The Ugandan parliament guaranteed that we are paying the business, the investor, for constructing a modern hospital, but when nothing is happening on the
there's no structure, there's no work going on a free land.
Many people have come up to claim the ownership. How? Didn't the minister, government, the Minister of Lands,
they do some survey?
All of the experts that the surveyors belong to government. Didn't the government take a due diligence? That's why I heard they embarrassed the president that somebody, that Museveni, bought land without a land title. Very embarrassing. You are arresting somebody.
His land title was
stolen. Land to Museveni, the president of Uganda, without a land. Is there a person who can cheat the president? It was done by his assistant. And the problem is, when our opponents hear that Museveni was cheated, Museveni they say he's an old man.
Yes, that's what they want to paint. They are painting that to the public.
But does Museveni go physically? What he uses his assistants.
Of course, his assistants.
Because Museveni, don't expect Museveni to engage in negotiations. Me, what I know is that Museveni's neighbors cut his sengenge to force his cows to graze into their gardens so that Museveni can buy their land.
Can compensate them.
They enforce Museveni's cows, they connive with Museveni's
men, men.
And make sure that his cows get out of the face and graze on their gardens. So that, because Museveni is in the army, Museveni says for us in UPDF, that when they were in 9RA, M1 inches property had to be compensated. But I asked the security in the state house when I was still there. How come that Museveni's convoy only knocks goats and sheep, which are compensated? Museveni has never knocked the dog. Why? They are tied there deliberately. But Shiba won't again. When they hear, there is a gap between Museveni's
looks like the president is very still
and the convoy. So the warning vehicle comes.
And they got
this is when they know they tie or touch the legs of a goat, the compensative ones. And when they see Museveni's vehicle coming, they untie them. So that Museveni knocks them. The other day he said, I have directed the director of Yusuf to locate the owner of the goat I knocked on the way. And do you know how much money was taken? About 20 million to locate the owner of the goat. Because in normal circumstances, when a person hears that his goat has been involved in an accident with the president's convoy, he runs away. So the money,
you can't find the owner.
No. And I ask, why is it that Museveni's vehicles knocks cows where there are no cows crossing? Why does he knock goats when there are no? You will never see in the history of that area that at one time, this is a notorious area because for us, we can tell the black spots that this place is normally there are accidents there. And because of the scientific explanation Muganda will say, waliwo musambwa. But when you look at it critically, in Europe, vehicles knock themselves from behind. Why? Because they drive on the same speed. So if the in front vehicle gets involved in an accident, all of the others can knock each other.
From the back.
In Africa, we have head-on collusion because we don't respect the corners, there are no signposts, and we attribute. One woman somewhere katambwa, you hear police katambwa, that place, vehicles no dogs. You hear ndikutamada that when you hear when you go through that hill and you don't get an accident, wait. It will kill you when you are coming back. So Africans console themselves because they lack
a scientific explanation of issues.
This is what can explain Nalweso.
I need to understand, Mzee. We had that.
Is in a dilemma. Why? It seems the ministry officials, apart from Dr. Diana, who was Museveni's physician, who is very close to General Nalweso. Others have refused to say that
it was COVID.
Muzata died out of COVID. And the persistent stories from Bukete. The other day, the first time Muzata died, they show us some words. That Muzata had the postcards. The postcards have discovered here. They show us Bukete. They said that the Muzata's relatives are fighting over Kalituso Muto. Had just planted the forest of Karitus. And the other way they were fighting over a Chiumba Chenkoko. A poultry farm.
Yes, we saw it in the papers.
Yes.
That the guy had a chicken farm.
Bukete has a different group that is pursuing that in a case we are discovered that this man did not die of COVID, then Bukete has prepared. As inoculated
the population to thinking that it was a family wrangle.
There were family wrangles. And this is how Bukete kills crimes. When a woman dies in Uganda, the husband is implicated in the matter. Why? If you divide the family, who takes up the property?
Of course, outsiders.
Yes, the mafias take over the property.
I see.
Because the mother has died.
The man has died. They accuse the wife.
The husband. The mother is imprisoned, and there is no body. The two families are divided.
And you kill our daughter, you kill
our son.
To bury the
so we
guy.
Takes over the responsibility to protect it. This is a tactic by mafia, Ugandan mafias. Whenever there is murder, that's homicide. We have got cases I know of homicide, where a man, a Gitalian woman, kills the woman because of jealousy. But in many cases, especially involving the rich, Bukete will tell you a story implicating family members. So, in my opinion, Bukete stories are influenced by criminal gang. This is why.
With which intention?
Muzata does not come out of the news. They have failed to allow Muzata. You look.
So they want to exonerate someone for something.
Look at Bukete. Look at Bukete. Because they are talking as if Muzata is still alive. Muzata is still alive and is giving married couples advice. I saw it somewhere that Muzata was preaching as if Muzata was still alive. When Muzata is dead, he's rotting. And the book will continue writing about Muzata as if nobody else has died. When they have so many stories. In an election period, why
people are asking why was there heavy deployment of the army at Muzata's hospital?
This is Muzata's family. But I read it somewhere where they are talking about Muzata, the way Muzata has been preaching to the married couples. Kakati, Muzata yafadda. Muzata yafadda. Katula bino story. Enfa ya mujja wakulannama. Erese aba family. Kulanama is one of the people, the head of the witch doctors, the traditional doctors. And Kulanama name
he has another faction.
Baby, delivered the baby under serious circumstances. Because nobody saw Kulanama with the pregnancy. Okay. How many of us who see Kulanama naked? It's only the husband. If she can connive with the husband. And he was named Museveni. Someone Museveni or Janet Museveni, one of the two. And this story, the headline is insinuating that the co-wife of this woman, Kuranama, is dead, has caused trouble in the family, indicating that this woman, Kuranama, has a hand in it. That's Bukete. Bukete will always cause trouble. Will cause trouble. When you see Bukete's headline involving itself in cases where one of the couples dies, then you know somebody is pushing it. When you say frog jumping during the day, you just understand that something strange is yes, I saw.
It has to happen.
I saw Muzrata somewhere where Muzrata is preaching to married couples. When Muzrata is already dead and has met his creator, according to Islamic faith, they know when, because the Muslims can direct you. Omulaba, you see, Muzrata is here. Is here preaching. Yes. Instead of quoting, living Kiralics, Islamic Kiralics, they are concentrating on and the way they write the headline is as if
it's as if he was there that day.
Then the next another important issue I want to interpret for you is this one.
Police chiefs face US sanctions.
Yes.
Of course, it is all everywhere, and people are questioning.
You see,
the decision by the US.
Fortunately for me,
some are not questioning, some are jubilating.
I'm all around. I did the international relations, the interaction of states and non-state actors in the international arena. This can cause excitement in Africa. Africans don't know how things work in advanced countries. Look, the American Congress impeached Trump. But when Trump came to address it, because saved by the Senate, the Speaker, Pelosi, torn the president's speech apart. That could not be done in Africa. But because the maturity that are accumulated for more than 400 years in the USA, these things can be done. I think, in my opinion, as a political scientist, it was an embarrassment to Pelosi. The man you have impeached has failed to go, and is coming back.
To address
according to you, you cannot, the same time, accept the person you impeached to address your Congress.
Of course.
This was the dilemma. But because these Europeans, they are mature, and they can hide their embarrassment. What this woman did was to tear Trump's speech, to say that although you are still the president, but for us as Congress, we don't consider you as our president. Maybe the others. So when you study their maturity, a single congressman can write, even an individual can write, even an individual can arrest you. Don't you remember the confrontation between Mugabe's guards and some British citizens? When one of the citizens said, Mr. Mugabe, you are under arrest. For us here, we can arrest anybody. Mugabe's bodyguards kicked the British, slapped him. Because how can he arrest the president? The sitting president.
In Africa, certain things don't happen.
What to me, what I say in this is one, they have the freedom to raise anything to their respective countries. And there is no way Pompeo can say no. I cannot accept it. You accept it. This is their freedom.
Of course.
The second point is, are we under American jurisdiction? No. But we are serious partners. America, we have hosted 2 sitting American presidents. And when President Clinton came to Uganda, he made a statement. Museveni, Zenawi, who else are the beacon of African democracy. Beacon, a tall pillar
of
which
light.
has light that lights everywhere. This is how Zenawi, Museveni, and another one who are fake at that time had not turned himself the way he is. I don't know, but there was a sad one. Clinton had even refused to go to Rwanda. The Rwandese rejected his offer to visit Rwanda. Remained at the airport for 30 minutes. The Rwandese, they had already chased away Annan as Secretary General because he was blamed for the massacre. So I cannot say that this type of concern is irrelevant. No. But these American values were also part of the a global village. We are partners, we cannot ignore. But this is not a sentence. How do civilized countries behave? We have an international court, ICC.
For criminals.
For criminals. Why? You are faced with the cases against humanity. The UN, again I specialize in UN activities when I was doing international relations. The UN wanted to market itself to be relevant, closer to the people. This is why they came out with the ICC. How can an ordinary Ugandan, an ordinary African, see the relevance of UN inside his house? They said, okay. ICC is not a court of appeal. ICC deals with cases which have not been handled by the local tribunal. Very important. Cases that have not been handled by the local tribunal, if people who cannot be handled in Uganda because of their influence,
political influence, of course,
then the UN, because it's a governing body, the UN is the international government. They can issue international warrant of arrest. The UN transcends borders. So this is why the ICC is there. Other countries, it remains bilateral. If you do this, which is abominable, almost zero, in America, we cannot deal with you. This is why America destroys countries from time to time. You are a terrorist country. Iran, you are financing this. And sometimes they are reviewed. So this is how I see it. The second point, have we failed to try these people if they committed any offense? Has any Ugandan,
of course, no one has come up to petition.
Yes, exactly. These people, nobody in Uganda has gone to the Uganda Human Rights Commission to seek its intervention, and the Ugandan government fails to handle
but it is alleged that you don't give freedom to NGOs to look through.
The third point, which are the cases? Which are the cases?
Violation of human rights.
Yes, violation of human rights. But they are talking about riots. Don't we have riots in America? The other time, there was a serious riot in Britain. The Prime Minister said, I stopped sort of deploying the soldiers. It's only because that these people are mature, they know how to handle the population. And the population in Africa, if you don't handle the population mercilessly, they can overthrow the government. In Europe and America, nobody can contemplate overthrowing a government through riots. This is the difference. The rioters in America are rioting over something that is sensible. A black has been mistreated, and it is on video.
Of course.
What happened in Los Angeles, I think 10 years ago, 5, if I remember properly, there was a man, a black man called Rodney King. He was pictured by an amateur photographer being tortured by American policemen, the whites. It caused a riot in Los Angeles. What did they do? They deployed the soldiers. I remember seeing American troops on the streets of Washington recently. You could see them conversing with their population.
Yes.
But here, no. People are hurling stones to. The other time, there was a man, we are constructing a house during the riots. And the constructor, one of the builders, picked a stone and smashed the head of a policeman.
I see.
But in such cases, the human rights groups don't condemn. This is what I say. It takes you to tumble. If Bob Wine is violating COVID-19 rules, and Museveni is doing the same, talk to the two. If you pressurize Museveni alone, you are sided. This is what happens in Africa. That because they don't know the psychology.
You see, Museveni kept himself a president and a candidate for president at the same time.
And you see
he should be held accountable.
No, I know. I can understand that Museveni, in normal circumstances, when the campaign time goes, expires, Museveni turns himself into a president and continues campaigning. That is right. Political power is influence and advantage. Trump was defeated. Did Trump surrender the facilities according to an American president? Why are they defeated? Did Kaunda surrender power or the facilities?
But whether they still have the whatever, they are still defeated.
The case is that we decided not to address rallies to avoid COVID. And COVID is not expired by colors. That when you are putting on yellow, then COVID you will not contract COVID. So therefore, I compared the electoral law to a ceasefire. A ceasefire agreement cannot be violated by
any of the parties in the fight.
So the electoral law in Uganda must cut across, because we are talking about a disease. If you allow Museveni's people to address rallies to flout the law, then those from Museveni's people who have contracted COVID-19 can contract it to their people. Wives and children have not gone to a rally.
Yes.
Likewise, if Bobi Wine defies the COVID rule and carries on with his political rallies, those we interact. My children, my son, one of my sons, you know him, is a spokesperson of Bobi Wine.
Of course.
One of my wives, the senior wife, belongs to the Democratic Party. Even when you look at my vehicles, they bear her posters.
Yes.
Even my house.
I saw one of them. Yes. I saw one of them moving around with the DP poster.
With the DP posters, my vehicles. So therefore, I'm
a very liberal man.
I'm not an animal man. I don't have their card. I never secured their card.
Are you serious?
Me, I'm a Musevenist. When Museveni, I have nothing to do with NRA. I like the president personally. Even when I left the government, I still remain supporting Museveni. I don't have a government job. Contrary to what people say, I rejected the appointment. What I get in terms of salary is a retirement benefit, because I didn't commit any crime warranting my dismissal. So I rejected the appointment. In fact, I directed my children recently to we call it what?
Expand
disappointment. It will not remain in my records. This is what I.
How is that done?
What I get is
there a legal process to expand an appointment?
Expand it.
Are you serious?
Never appear in my records. I've never been an advisor to the president. I did not take up the appointment. I didn't report, but I remain an ardent supporter of the president. So therefore, we look at the crimes. They are harassing people. That is a wide allegation. Because what's the role of, why are they? Why are we seeing these soldiers? The soldiers, the problem in Uganda is that whenever a new government takes over, all of the security agencies, they normally come from one tribe. The Kakwas, people from Amini's time, dominated the security
which
forces,
is a characteristic of African countries.
The president feels comfortable when he's surrounded by his tribesmen. This is natural. When you see the suburbs of Kampala, Chifumbira, then you know that when Mufumbira comes to Kampala, this is where he stays. In Kampala city, I hear there was a World Cup which was hosted by America. They said the Italians would play in such an area because it is dominated by Italians. This is what is happening in Africa. In Africa, people surround them feel comfortable with that tribesmen.
Well, that is wrong for public appointments, for government job appointments.
Any institution, any government or army, imagine you to have a guerrilla must be dominated by one particular tribe. Fighting a government is a treasonable offense. You go anywhere. SBLO, the problem is Dinka. You go to Mozambique, everywhere, where the army. But the question is it now tenable to say that after 35 years, the army would have been different.
Of course.
And I think it is
there would be deployments
different.
from a regional balancing perspective.
Yes, we have generals who have commanded Somalia, who have Okeros and what. That one they have achieved. But the problem originates from the way our governments come to power. When Museveni came to power, he came at that time, the special forces, a paramilitary part of the army was dominated by the Itisos. Because the Minister of State for Defense, Peter Otai, was from that area.
You recruited people from his hometown.
From his area. The intelligence in NASA was under Wakasis. It was dominated by people from Western Uganda. So it explains the police was from, people used to say that from Soroti up to Mukondo, all of the police commanders were from
that area.
Because the Inspector General of Police hated from that area. This is what is happening. Me, I'm not seeing anything changing. What I'm seeing that is changing is that we are transforming these educated people. These are highly educated people you see here.
Your statements are exonerating those criminals.
No.
They are considered criminals by US sanctions.
They are not criminals.
Violation of human rights is criminal.
Why is this subject? I worked with these people. Some of these people were trained to protect the president. Elite troops. These ones. Sabit is a highly trained man and highly educated. I think he has a PhD somewhere in chemistry, would be a scientist.
Of course.
I know him. Highly disciplined. But the problem is, Ugandans trust the army more than they trust the police.
Of course.
This is the problem.
Very many times when you see army, the mind changes.
When a Ugandan drunkard is told that the roadblock is banned by UPDF, he will go comfortably.
Yes.
When he is told that the roadblock is manned by local defense, he will not go. When he hears
who goes, not even a drunkard,
even is manned by the police, he will not go.
You change route.
If you see military police, they move into groups of 5. I have a privilege, I'm protected by military police. Several people,
that's why one big privilege from
I have military police, I have praying,
plain clothes.
And I normally move alone because of I strongly believe in witchcraft. Because witchcraft can hit a plane, I don't surrender it at the checkpoint like a gun. So me, that's why I move.
We heard that witchcraft does not cross borders. You can't go with witchcraft in America.
I'm supposed to be heavily protected. Why? If I'm killed, the blame will go to the government. This man has been criticizing government, but the third force can kill you. That's what I was warning them about Bobby Wine. So therefore, why are these senior army officers
listed
involved in
listed
the police
for sanctions
work, to be caught in the police work? One, our constitution provides for complementary services. That whenever the police is in trouble, because the police, Ugandans don't fear the police. How many people have slapped traffic policemen? At one time it was suggested that they should even be armed with pistols. Ugandans don't fear the police.
No, Ugandans are tired of the ways of the policemen in this country.
No. When Museveni came, he demystified the gun. Many people went for political courses not to learn politics because they were illiterate. How can an illiterate do a political science course? These people wanted to know how to shoot. This is where the rioters can grab a gun from a policeman. Of course. But they fear soldiers.
They can't do that
whenever there is
to a military guy, a military policeman.
The rioters, most of these rioters, are people who have come back from Iraq, Iran, these war-torn countries.
Are you suggesting that they are ex-servicemen?
These are ex-servicemen. You look at the border people. The border people are tough people.
Of course, majority of them are from reserve force.
They kill and the criminals kill them. How can you ride the border at night? At midnight, they don't have maps.
Conditions of this country.
These are veterans. Most of these people are veterans.
Yes.
When a man comes back from Iraq, he drinks all of his money. At least he remains with 5 million to buy a border, which can fetch him 10,000. So most of the rioters are veterans. Most of the rioters are those who are interested from the army. Most of the rioters are younger people who don't care.
But Mzee, the majority of the people who have been killed have been simple women, vendors, roadside people who are walking.
Look what the Buganda riots. How many people died?
So many.
When if Museveni did not intervene in time, they had reached my mother. They had locked my mother inside my house in the village. What had I done? That this man is the one who is keeping Museveni in the power. Do I vote him? Do I have 10 million votes? They target because, first of all, our younger people, the youth, that's why they can die for baby wine. They have been disappointed by the leadership.
Yes.
Much of the money Museveni has allocated to the youth projects have been
swindled by a few people.
To buy buildings in Taiwan, to buy buildings in Malaysia, to buy buildings in
Congo.
All of these people who are in charge of the youth docket have been used. All of them, even the current ones, naturally, although women and music are not easy to date, naturally appears to be a younger woman. That's why they put her in the youth department.
She's young, she does not just appear.
Immediately, Tumwebaze took over this successful project of Museveni that was initiated by Giriman, and Giriman has a patent for it, and many youth groups have benefited from it. The whole project disappeared. Ugandans who have been disappointed by these companies which take them to Arab countries and they come back frustrated. All of those vent their anger. This is why our lives are violent. This is what promotes the army to come in. When they come in, when the reality police comes in, I have never seen a group of 10 military policemen. They are normally 5. Once they come, people as what is remaining in Uganda, the invisibility only applies to military police and the army and special forces.
Yes,
that's why all of these people who are part of
who have been who face sanctions,
forces, the right group are implicated.
Apart from Frank, there is Frank there. That Frank Mwesigwa guy.
Yes. No. By
the ex-commander of CPS, KMP commander for Kampala Metropolitan.
Even when Kayikola was still in charge, a quarter of the policemen had been recruited from the army.
Yes.
Yes.
Himself is a soldier. Himself is a general.
Uniform. The other point, which many Ugandans and other people abroad don't know. By the time during Kayigula's time, America invested a lot of money in the Ugandan police.
Of course, they say that. They say Uganda gets one of the biggest budgets for security.
Yes. Why?
The best training in Africa.
No. Because these people don't know that in Africa, the problem we have in Africa is that whenever they change of government, they train money power free. They become
because of violence.
But when you go to Kenya and Tanzania, you can find an army officer who served from independence, retiring on his own, passing over the wealth of experience he has gathered to the new recruits. This does not apply in Uganda. These are younger people. Why? It is only now under Museveni that the army officers are retiring. In old age, we are seeing old soldiers.
Yeah, of course.
I remember 1996.
We hear even General Katumba is about to retire.
Dr. Semuogerere to Gulu. Dr. Semuogerere was not allowed. When I hear people talking about Bobby Wine, maybe Bobby Wine is lucky that he has foreign protection and attention. Things have changed. But I'm not seeing any difference between the Dr. Semuogerere and the Bobby Wine. Dr. Semuogerere was denied the accommodation in the Kasese. Dr. Semuogerere almost died in an accident. Semuogerere found a stationary army lorry which appeared to have been broken down. Immediately, Semuogerere approached it. It is zigzagged in the road, and Semuogerere's Mercedes vehicle knocked the car, the lorry, which was carrying firewood. Immediately after causing the accident, it sped off. Semuogerere was saved, but one of my reporters died. I had attached the reporter to Semuogerere. 1996, I was an advisor to Semuogerere. Yes, I came from Semogere's camp to join Museveni. Why? Semogere brought you the UPCs. I told the Semogere, these UPCs have come with Nasi and they are going to take our votes. I closed to Museveni on principle.
I see.
Yes.
You deferred on principle with him?
Yeah, I deferred with him and we shook hands.
But why did you cross with the enemy?
I shook hands.
Why would you cross with the enemy from
even when the president would not believe, he came to my home area to address a rally. The district leaders told him, this man is a very influential man. And I was young. Say, this man is an influential man here. You listen to what he says. I told him that I believe in the multi-party system. Unless there is a multi-party system. And I had known these people. I know people like Saleh. I saw Saleh in the bush. I was the first Ugandan journalist to meet Saleh to be granted an interview. Do you see me flocking in Saleh's place? I've
not seen you be around him.
The trouble with these people is that Ugandans trust the army and the police is seen on the ground.
But Mzee,
how many policemen
the sanctions are due to their incompetence when they man police. Because they have been sent there with a lot of skill and they are not using their skills.
When the Banyankole first came to Buganda, they found that our cows were always tied by ropes. Then the Banyankole wondered, Kababa Sibe, in Mwachimayochi, why did you come here? Why do you put Yankole? Where your cows are not tied where they move Firire? Kakati, I'm asking, did these people meander into police work on their own?
They were deployed there.
Yes, why?
To take care of a spoiled institution. And they have not done their job.
Two. Have they rebelled against their commander-in-chief?
No, not of course.
Have they rebelled against their commander-in-chief?
That's why people think they are serving their commander's chief interest.
The army. Do they give themselves orders? Is there a breakdown in the command? Are you telling me? Is this congressman telling me that there is a breakdown on command?
I don't know about that.
Then I move on the third point. These are officers, and for us in the army we say, order ya jeshi ni moja. Even in Kenya, during the 2007 massacres, a policeman called Major General Ali was not summoned by the ICC. Whatever happened, he was doing his work as a policeman. Are these people committing these atrocities on their own? Have they moved? Have they taken over government? Are they violating the command of the army? The Baganda have a proverb that a coward, a person who is not fair, is like a slaughtered goat. That the eyes of the slaughtered goat look what the one who is skinning instead of looking
at the guy who slaughtered it.
Who cut over the throat? Oh no, America, he does not implicate the army command. So are these rebels? Are they rebelling against their commanders? Because who takes responsibility?
The commander.
Yes, the commander would, in normal circumstances, the commander would take a responsibility. If the commander does not take a responsibility, they are either rebels. And what happens is, it will be a mutiny. Are they carrying the private work? Are they doing private work? And you see, that's why I hate people like Ochola. When it comes to defending the money of the police, he hides himself. He submits. So, what type of boss who says that when it comes to battlefield, then I surrender, I'm not responsible? It should be a fair assessment from the congressman would be that the commanders of security forces have abdicated their responsibilities. Or he would have mentioned in his report to the foreign affairs, to the foreign secretary, the secretary of state. And when I interviewed the inspector general of police and the army commander, and
they said these are rogue policemen, these are rogue commanders.
They are doing things away from the known code of ethics.
Yes.
Then you surrender them. But you cannot say an organized army, and I'm seeing some sinister motive. This man was going to take over from Somalia. Yes,
Yes.
it's incoming.
Yes, we
What
had,
this man is
some
saying,
incoming commander
you
in
know that
Somalia.
in the future, this can have a negative bearing on our army.
Mhm.
UPDF is a highly disciplined army. How can UPDF, a highly disciplined army, be commanded by people who kill their own people? Nonsense.
Mpulira.
This is a contradiction, a sub-contradiction. You see, every Mzungu has brains. Not every Mzungu has a brain. These are contradictions. If we had rogue commanders in Uganda who violate rights of their nationals, this would be reflected in Somalia, in Equatorial Guinea, in other countries where we have sent soldiers, deployed soldiers. How can the high command be rotten when the rank and the file are highly disciplined? Nonsense.
Mzee,
So therefore,
how do you explain the death by their commands? The death of civilians by the commands of those people?
Dismissing the congressman with the contempt and what his presentation deserves, then I come to the real issue. The real issue is the problem is not with these officers. The problem is with the law. Yes.
But the law doesn't fire bullets.
The election law does not give the independent of who? These are
The Independent Electoral Commission.
propaganda titles. And this man of the Electoral Commission is going to bring himself to trouble. If the commission has the responsibility of printing ballot papers, why do you call the participating groups to witness the offloading and the storage? Did they go with the keys?
Is it under the law?
If these people come up and say the consignment we inspected contained blue ballot papers, we are seeing white. What will this man say? Does the law tell him that whatever you do must be witnessed by? Do we accompany the governor of Bank of Uganda when he's going to order printing of currency?
No.
The man in the Electoral Commission is not in charge. He needs help. I'm telling you, his assistant is also a former headmistress. Get tough people. People can advise.
But I thought a judge has capability to interpret the law more than a civilian.
We have a public relations officer and a public relations manager, director for public relations. What do they have? Because the role of a public relations officer manager is that's why you at managerial level is to give counsel and advice to your boss. I'm not seeing the public relations manager there. The senior man was just with this one just talks politely. It does not involve advice as far as media is concerned. So the law does not give powers to the chairman of the Electoral Commission, so-called independent, to discipline nominated candidates. There's no punishment. A candidate that who flouts election rules, you wait him until after the elections, and if he is a victor, then you use that as evidence to nullify his election, his victory.
But during the process, you can do nothing.
Nothing. I told you that the chairman of the Electoral Commission does not become a transitional president of Uganda at that time, does not discipline the police, and he does not have an election police. So this is where the problem is. And the whole thing was started by NRA, Tango Doi, Dr. Tango Doi. I don't know whether he did political science. If I become anything in this country, political science will be compulsory and rookie. Why?
Are you serious?
The violation of the law, because we merged the former Electoral Act with the Health Act to protect for COVID-19.
Because of an health emergency.
As the old law of canvassing support, electoral law, allowed the candidates to canvass support unlimited.
Yes.
The COVID Act came up with we call it a clawback. We use it in UN. You are given a right, and then some of your rights are taken away. The COVID-19, a merger, akatogo, omugoyo, a mixture of the Health Act
and the electoral law.
The electoral law, the former electoral law, gave us clawbacks that elections, conversing elections should be done in a limited manner. However, there is no punishment meted out to any person who violates this law.
Openly laid out.
There is no clear punishment. If there was a clear punishment that any candidate who violates this law should be
either nullified. Or what?
You wouldn't be seeing NRM violating this. You wouldn't be seeing Bobi Wine said doing this, but there is no punishment.
NRM.
It is only after you have won.
NRM has been properly represented by Kasolo in violating these rules.
I come from the area. Kasolo is also accused on false. There's a false allegation.
So there is video evidence.
Let me explain. No, the media is biased. Bobi Wine has a sophisticated team. So Bobi Wine has outsmarted the government media.
When it comes to
and
media.
In fact, when you read my new book, I say Bobi Wine, unlike other previous presidential candidates, does not need to pay money to media.
Yes.
The media, the newspapers know.
Government
when you write about Bobi Wine, you said, why? Bobi Wine's supporters are
these are signs of beating the press.
Bobi Wine supporters are younger people who are employed in odd jobs, in the market.
Yes.
They have the money. Why? They used to pay for Bobi Wine services as a musician.
Yes.
They used to fill his galas. So paying for Bobi Wine to deliver service is not new. Contrary to that, Museveni supporters depend on money.
They ask for tokens before doing anything.
Any service to the party, they must be paid. Well, now that there is no money, Museveni floors all of the accounts of these ministers. And I told you, 4 ministers were under house arrest until the apology.
But he gave a budget of 20 billion to the secretariat.
Don't see money circulating in the election. And as a result, do you see NRM campaigns?
Nothing.
They are used to money.
They don't give anything free to Museveni.
They don't do something. And what happens is, if to them Museveni dishes out of money, it is illegal.
Yes.
If he is captured
within
anywhere,
this time.
That's why Museveni. Did you see a group of Museveni supporters clad in their party t-shirts tearing them apart into pieces?
Yes.
And Atumye said, what they want him to do, give them money, be recorded on tape, on video, that will work against Museveni.
To nullify his election.
But because they know that they will not win, Bobi Wine can afford to violate the law. Because he knows himself cannot defeat Museveni.
Are you serious?
So the person
this time round it is changing.
The person who is going to have problems is Museveni. His election can be nullified. One, because there are clear benchmarks. Unlike previous elections, this one is unique. The court gave out 10 commandments. The court said never organize any further election following Mbabazi's petition. So now they are marking benchmarks, the 10 ones. But I don't know whether the NRM leaders who are violating this are aware that this leads to nullification. Two, the judiciary in Uganda, the fact that you look at 2 people, the Chief Justice, retired Chief Justice, has received an international job
from China.
Was credible and independent. The former Deputy Chief Justice Kavuma, the only job he could get, a royalist, was to become chairman of the aviation authority, where he did not need to go through vetting process. The judges have learned that when you are credible, you can go to green pastures and you can be employed by international.
Yes.
This is an inducement, an encouragement for Ugandan judges to be credible, fair, and fair. Two, the president. In Kenya, it was nullified. In Malawi, it was nullified.
Yes.
So this
some African judges have created a precedent.
This is why I'm saying that the NRM supporters, more than the opposition supporters, would observe jealously the rules. Because
I wish they knew the ingredients of a nullification.
They don't know. And no effort has been done.
To educate them.
They will read it in my book because I've done it. I normally do civic work for government dormant non-starters like the Electoral Commission, where they have a lot of money.
They have a big budget and do nothing with it.
But they do nothing with it. So whoever reads my book, and I can translate it in different languages, so that people know. Therefore, the problem that the foreigners are not looking at is not these soldiers and army officers. These soldiers have found themselves into doing the police work by circumstances. Sabit was already in the police before the riots came. And because the riots are involves the army, because the intelligence reports indicate, government does not want to say that these are coup attempts. But in normal circumstances, even the current campaign is a coup. Why? A coup, a successful coup is a new government. A failed coup is a mutiny. Even here, this can turn into a change of leadership. If Bobby Wine is not handled properly over other candidates, then therefore, one, the policemen and these senior army officers are not violating their codes of ethics. They are obedient soldiers, highly disciplined soldiers. I doubt whether somebody can bring a crime, a murder case, or a safety against genocide. Nobody.
Mzee,
in fact, people don't know him.
These are not in person blamed for doing these things.
Yes.
He's blamed for commanding a rogue policeman who shoot at civilians.
I'm explaining is simple. I'm explaining this in simple terms. That we have a ceasefire. I said in war, you get a ceasefire.
Yes.
A ceasefire must be observed by all of the parties.
Yes.
Signatory to ceasefire agreement. Today, I look at the electoral law as a ceasefire agreement, which should not be violated. The argument that Museveni is the president of Uganda and therefore can have
the liberty
above and over other candidates, I agree. But this is an abnormal situation, which Museveni does not allow Museveni to do this. Why? We are fighting a disease, COVID-19, which is not selective.
Of course.
Those who attend Museveni's irregularities, thinking that they are protected because he's the president of Uganda, can bring the COVID back into our homes.
Yes.
Like the foolish ministers who violated the rules and went and collected their husbands and relatives from
the airport.
From the airport, straight into their homes. This is why COVID is killing important people, very powerful people. Many people in the Yaro, in the villages are dying, but they are not dying for these breathing systems. COVID is a big problem among the rich people.
Because of the redundance and the arrogance of politicians who picked relatives.
But the villagers, maybe because of
during
what
the
they eat,
COVID intro commotion.
Villagers, in the villages you can tell, because they can say, they know each other. In normal circumstances, I don't know how they disseminate news, and we are relatives in the villages. But you will know at 10, like during the AIDS time, HIV time, we even adults at the time of burial. One could be buried at 10 in the morning, midday you have another burial, at 3 you have another burial, and at 6. Although in my tradition, it's only the father of twins and the mother of twins who are buried at 6 when the sun has
set.
Yes. So therefore, address this salient point. These people have found themselves caught up in the police work. Otherwise, they are highly disciplined soldiers. 2, the nature of rioters. How can you handle the rioters? 3, what is causing them trouble? Because the government, I say, government has its weaknesses. The government has no eloquent speakers, credible speakers. This government does not have a strong diplomatic corps. Rwanda had problems. At one time, a magistrate in Spain issued an international warrant against President Kagame, because the Kagame people, the Rwanda government has been accused of aggression, assassinating people, allegedly assassinating people in other countries like South Africa. But because they
opponents, of course,
they have a strong media team, call it a propaganda team. They have a strong diplomatic core. They can protect themselves.
And diffuse the rumor.
Look what Rwanda, look what Kenya. Kenya, the president and the vice president were indicted by the ICC before they became president. And there is a lawyer, a professor of law. He was saying, I can assure you, I can give a check to take it to the bank. These two people will never be president, and the vice president is now the chair of the Human Rights Commission, working together the same people investigated. This is how even the professors in Kiswahili, we have professors and the professor. The professors, those who want money, like the Muhajirs, Museveni scientists, who paid the rise to get money from the president, and we are paying a heavy price. It's not drug, there is no work. So therefore, as long as there are no punishment, as long as there are no definition as to who, guidelines, who is violating COVID-19, the problem is that both parties are violating.
But Mzee, shouldn't this be a weakness of the Electoral Commission and its bosses?
In my opinion,
they have not given us enough guidance on how to handle ourselves in the election.
And the law, because members of parliament are selfish. Laws are made by lawyers. A lawyer leaves what they call lacunas. Because the law is not fixed. The law is not like mathematics. The law is not like engineering. The law is given loopholes to be exploited. That's why you have two sides of lawyers.
I see.
Because you cannot have two mathematicians. That 1 + 1 equals what? It's fixed. But lawyers, they live. So when they are making these laws, these are MPs, sitting MPs. A monkey cannot judge a case involving a forest. That's why Lord Muganda says that a monkey who stays in the forest cannot be a judge in a
case against a forest,
because you will be biased. These MPs are making these laws. You find that the campaign period for a person like an L5 person is less than the time given for an MP who has a smaller constituency in the district.
Yes.
Why? When they are making these laws, they don't think about the future. They think, because these are laws that are going to affect them.
But they leave them amendable
this is the problem
for the future.
Who is now going to call a parliament? So in the future, the electoral law must clearly spell out punishment to anybody who violates the electoral law. Not fining. Africans don't fear fining. You say you will be expelled. Your nomination will be nullified. And I sympathize with this man. Why do you call Amuriat and you call Bobby Wine to tell them that they are violating? When you are not only the judge, Mr. Justice Biamukam, Ugandans are watching television. The Americans have the ambassador here.
Yes.
They have their staff here. They know that even the NRM people have
violated the rules.
Yes, they see.
You're not calling anyone from the other side.
They are seeing. It takes two to tango. Anybody. That's why I'm credible. This is what has failed other key players in Uganda's politics. The religious leaders, let us go to Museveni. No, go to both.
Yes.
Go to
balance how you criticize
the media in
or
Uganda
you advise.
Is biased in a way. When Bobby Wine, when Besigye's rally is stopped, Besigye was given the directives and the guidelines by the police. You people, you do not address rallies in working places. Because in Uganda, many people work in those places. Markets, tax packs.
Some of them are not interested in politics.
We are not interested in government jobs. That's why when you drive from Masaka to my area, Chotia area near the border, people will be waving you in expensive cars. Because they normally operate as taxis. So people are working in a private
institution, in the informal sector.
The police was saying, don't operate, don't invade in your work crusade. Bessie was saying, government has failed to provide the jobs to the people. But at the same time, he was walking to work away when there are no jobs. Walking to work.
He had a campaign called Walk to Work. And he's saying government, people have no jobs.
Walking walking to nothing. But if you say the government has failed to provide jobs for people,
and you have a campaign,
then you have you launch a crusade, walk to work, then you are fighting the fuel. You are fighting tax fare prices.
I see.
Otherwise, there would be you wouldn't be walking to work when there are no jobs.
There are no jobs.
But Ugandans don't have that look.